Business owners want to connect with consumers with more than $1.6 trillion in annual purchasing power? Want to get to coaching, new clients, strategic connections, and capital to boost your bottom line? Subscribe to the Matthews Broadcast YouTube channel and press the notification bell to be notified when we post the success principles, cash flow ideas, and content you need to prosper and succeed. Subscribe right now.
And ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Miss Precious L. Williams.
All right. Welcome, everyone. Now, where does money reside? Where does money reside? Where does money reside? Where does money reside? It resides in creating a pitch that pays and what slays. And so, yes, I am Precious Williams. I am the killer pitch master, and I'm here to help you slay all competition with a killer pitch. Now, you'll listen to other people and they'll tell you you have to have an obscene amount of money to be able to do it. You're competing on this and that. I'm going to show you how to get to the right people through the art and the science of the killer pitch. I am a master at the elevator pitch, the media pitch, the investor pitch, the sales pitch, the speaker pitch, and the interview pitch. And it all started when I pitched my first company, Curvy Girls Lingerie, when I was 327 pounds. Yes, 327 pounds, size 28. And he told me I was too fat, too black, and didn't have an Ivy League degree. And I could have decided to listen to that, or I could listen to the God in me that said, you're going to transform. And you're going to show people that full-figure divas, plus-size women, and full-figure divas are two totally different things. So the first thing I want you to learn from me is when you change your language, you change the game. So when you start off with your pitching game and creating a pitch that pays and slays, I want to teach you some things that I learned on my journey. Now, why should you listen to me? And I thought he did such a great introduction on me. But let me just assure you of some of you who do not know my background. I'm from the inner city of St. Louis, Missouri. I am the only person in my family with a college degree, the first to graduate from high school, the first to get into college on a full scholarship to Spelman College, the first and only one to get into Georgetown University Law Center. I got kicked out in 2002. Started over at another law school in 2003, had a nervous breakdown in 2004, didn't think I was going to finish law school. And somehow, some way, God gave me a second chance. And so I went back to school with a vengeance, finished in 2006, the number one student attorney in my class, passed the February 2007 New York State Bar on my first try, and I was ready to kick butt. No one told me that the law was boring, though. Nobody told me that. I was like, I got to do this for 40 years. Yeah, I'm not going to do this. So I always knew that there was a rebel in me, and there was something in me that wanted to show others that no matter where you come from, you can slay all competition. I didn't grow up with media context. I didn't grow up with money. I grew up in poverty and a victim of abuse by both of my parents. So now that we've gotten that out of the way, for me to decide when I was 5 years old that I was going to be a talk show host, that I was going to go to New York City, I was going to have a billboard in Times Square, all that had happened in my 40s, not in my 20s, not in my 30s, but in my 40s. And so here's some things I want you all to think about when it comes to pitching. You have a lot of people who are going to tell you about storytelling. Remember, storytelling is great, but not every story is for every audience. That's why there are different types of pitches. So who wants media attention? Who would love to have, working with Stan, who would also like to have other media attention too? Who would like raise your hands? Y'all can scream out like I'm interactive. I'm not one of those that can lecture at you. Y'all like that?
Me.
Yo.
Be precious.
Damn.
Okay.
She
So,
ready.
first
She
of all,
ready.
that was possible, right? When I wrote my first book, Bad Bitches and Power Pitches, I know some of y'all gonna clutch the pearls, but I'm telling you the title was just a pitch to get people to read the book. What'd you say?
Rated G show here.
Okay, I'm sorry. Bad Bees and Power Pitches. Right? And so people were like, no one's gonna buy the book. What was it? A 4-time Book of the Year finalist for Business, Sales, and Economics in my first billboard in Times Square. That is not urban literature. That is a real business book based on my skill set and talents of being the killer pitch master. And Forbes magazine came to me. But how was that? Remember, I told you, when you change your language, you change the game. So being a 327-pound woman, I couldn't just walk in the room because most people would think I was talking about food. But I'm talking about a red hot love affair that started a company that changed how women were seen, how women looked at themselves. I had to educate women who had more meat on their bones, that they were worth nice underwear. They were worth being celebrated way back when, before Lizzo, way back before Ashley Graham was on the cover of Sports Illustrated. Someone had to be the trailblazer to say, it's going to happen right now. So when my family and friends wouldn't invest in me, I went on national television. I pitched at an event I could not afford and went up to the producers and pitched, not even knowing what I was doing, and they loved it. And that's when I learned you got to change your language. You'll change the game. Number two, a great thing that I always want people to know, and we always talk about who knows who their target market is. Who knows who their target market is? Does your target market buy all the time? Or some of y'all wondering, who is my target market? I know I have a great product, a great service, but it's not selling the way I want it to. Because I'm going to assure you, most entrepreneurs and speakers do not know who their target market is. They know what other people are selling to. They hear all of these great stories. That does not tell you who your target market is. So I want you to think back when you created your company or you started what it is you wanted to start. Who did you really want to be in front of? Most people will say high net worth individuals, wealthy people. But have you forgotten who the lower hanging fruit are? And I don't mean people can barely afford. I mean, there are people in your own backyard who are on LinkedIn or on different places you've never even considered. So instead of focusing on the people who aren't buying or who are fighting you on price, where else are you needed? For example, I'm a speaker. I'm an international professional speaker. I'm not a motivational speaker at all. I'm the killer pitch master and a communication skills expert. One of the things that I did when I came out of homelessness in 2018, after I lost the love of my life, was homeless on the streets of New York for 2 years. So you're looking at someone who fought their way back through the art of pitching. I knew that there were some doors that wouldn't open up. So what I decided to do is, where can I make maximum impact and showcase what pitching really can do? So I decided to go into the craziest places, big tech. My degree is in English, art history, pre-law, and I have a JD. That has nothing to do with tech. But let me tell you what I know. Most tech people with these big brains, they don't know how to break things down into base language. They don't know how to really sell what they're putting out there. But I do, because I can understand what they're saying and break it down and show them how to sell without selling, but still selling to their superiors to get the money to do what they need to do. And then those people will take it to the sales team who need to know how to sell it to their customers. Well, who can create all of that as a communication skills expert? Me. But I wasn't coming in, I'm going to teach you sales. I had to figure out different ways to get in. And so what I'm telling you all is, when you're thinking about your target market, there are probably industries you've never thought of that need you right now, that don't have such a high barrier to entry, and you're not fighting with every speaker or every entrepreneur trying to get in. So the first thing I want you to think about is, I love LinkedIn. LinkedIn is where I get booked, busy, and paid all the time. That's where people reach out and find me. That's where they look at my articles and things like that. What are you putting out there to truly bait, attract, and close with ease? Are you telling people to just buy your stuff? Are you taking them on the journey of you being an entrepreneur? Rodney came. I was just in Maryland. I spoke at the Howard County Chamber of Commerce. It was an afternoon keynote. Rodney was like, "Oh, I know you was in town." He came and saw me, but after I already spoken. One of the things that I did is I came down at breakfast just to meet people. And people were like, "Oh my God, it's Precious Williams." There was a time when the phone didn't ring, y'all. There was a phone. I was calling people. Nobody responded because I was trying to get through closed doors. The open door was, who did I know who didn't look at my past background, who was connected to different companies, who understood what pitching could do for that particular company. And I started working on them. And that's part of my third book, Pitching for Profit, the Bad Bees Playbook to convert conversations into currency, not just cash. Being like NBA Youngboy, never broke again if you got the right relationships. So instead of treating people transactionally, get relationally with people. That's what MBN is about. That's what Stan Matthews is teaching. Stan met me when I was coming out of darkness. Am I right, Stan? Stan met me when I was coming out of darkness, and I had written my first book. I was struggling and trying, and then it all hit me that I'm playing in the wrong sandbox. I need to be other places. I went into big financial services. because if I could prove getting into Google, LinkedIn, and Microsoft wasn't that hard, and I was killing the game, and LinkedIn is my biggest client.
Business owners, join a professional network that will help you share the unique value of your products and services with Black and brown customers who have more than $1.6 trillion to spend on an annual basis. Join the Matthews Business Network and get the coaching, the clients, the connections, and the capital you need to succeed. To get growing right now.